Five, four, three, two, one. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X. And here is the Trevelyan, or at least the skeleton of it. If you remember my last videos of the ship, we added a bunch of stuff into the interior, some exterior cargo boxes, and so on. And I wanted to just give you a bit of a tip that if you're going to modify a ship like this at all and it's disconnected from your building dock, you'll need to reconnect it. And one of the best ways to do that is via a merge block. So it's just, whoops. I'm being helped by a kitten this morning, and he's got a habit of jumping up at the controller in my hands. So, want to remember where they drop the merge blocks now. Been a while since I've looked through this list. We want the hello, you. That's your fishy, is it? So, I think just under the cockpit here, there. We've got our merge block. We'll just into the cockpit. And when you're putting things like merge blocks onto your controls, I always prefer to drop merge blocks into similar places that I would connectors. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping this particular merge block along here. Being distracted again by kitten. We'll see. There's quite a lot of components on this ship, but if you look through the list, you'll notice they're all in alphabetical order. You just want to toggle this block on and off. Half the fun. Remember, you can change the camera angle by holding down both bumpers on external view and spinning your right stick. Bring your ship down over your merge block as much as you can. Then be locked into place. There we go. Lights are green. Merge block is active. All is good in that regard. We're locked in. So now, if we decide to modify the thrusters or turn them off, we're not going to crash to the deck. So there we go. We can conserve hydrogen fuel that way as well. This is a short one though this morning. Still part of the build video for this ship, but I thought I'd continue on said, when we start to add the exterior armor and the shaping on this, I'm still thinking how I want to do it. We'll be potentially having to move a few thrusters around here and there, or add conveyor tubes onto existing blocks, possibly to extend the thrusters out beyond the main hull, or at least further out, depending. If you are using mods, I can heartily recommend the one I've got squirreled away in my mod list here. This is a non-modded ship, but if you were to use mods, my suggestion would be to throw on these azimuth quad flame front thrusters onto your ship, because these are excellent, and as you can see, they come with a block design, so you can link them in anywhere on the hull. And if you're making a ship with lots of thrusters that are flush to the hull, these are brilliant. They also push out an absolutely incredible amount of thrust, and they're very, very useful for making lifter style ships. I've got a build of the Callisto 71 with these on, and yeah, it works a treat. So there's an idea for you if you are building something and you want some modded thrusters. These, along with Flare's torch drives, are pretty damn good. Anyway, so what we want to do with this particular video, now we've got the ship connected up to our merge block, is I want to do some thrust controls. And what we want is we want to switch pages on our D-pad. So if you hold down the left stick and tap A and B, you'll switch through the pages on your shortcuts. So for instance, I want to move on a page, holding down left stick, tapping B moves me on, tapping A pulls me back. So on page 2, I want to think about having my thrusters on a thrust override. So I'm looking at forward thrusters for this. So if we go into our control panel and we just type forward, so you'll see we have the large hydrogen thruster forward here and here. So if we select one of those and then we make a group by holding down right bumper and A on the others, and we call this so I know what it means, Trev TO. We'll save that group off. And then now on our D-pad, we want to increase the thrust override. So hold down the direction you want, which in my case, holding down left will open up the toolbar config, move to your groups and find Trev TO. And we want to increase the thrust override there. And then the same thing for the right direction. To groups, we want to increase our thrust override. So if we jump back, turn our thrusters on, go back to the page, we can now increase our thrust override. This allows us to point the ship to the stars, and then we can use this to help us with conserving fuel, because we can give it just the right amount of burn to give us lift without breaking into the speed limit that Space Engineers has, unless you have a mod. lots of control over the ship. Don't hit down on the D-pad though, because you'll regret it. So now what we want to do is we want to look in the control panel again at our backward thrusters here, like this. Select these. Name it whatever you want. I tried to use the ship's name, or at least part of it. We want to put these on up, and all we want to do with these is toggle them on and off. And so when we put our thrusters back on, we want to be able to turn off our thrusters at the front so that we're not fighting against our own reverse thrust when we accelerate the ship to the sky. That is all you need to do to set up your thrusters on the ship. So you have your main thrust and so on. So you can turn your main thrust on and off, and then you can alter the thrust override. And so I want to make this one a little bit shorter since I've got other stuff to do this morning, but I wanted to jump on and continue with my build of this, but I don't want to bore anyone senseless, and so on and so forth. So that'll do for this one. In the next one, we'll look at some finishing touches on this, and we'll start to potentially build out more of the ship's look itself. But the idea on this particular build was to show you how to put together a large grid hydrogen ship, complete with oxygenation and so on, and a functioning cargo hold with refiner and assembler systems. And I think that is exactly what this ship does. So until then, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. I'm pretty sure we're going to start hearing about Warfare 2 in the near future, the very near future. But bye for now.